You're listening to The CEOs, brought to you by the University of Alberta on the Chorus Radio Network.
I am pleased to welcome GoodEarth founders Nan Eskenazi and her husband Michael Going to the Chorus Radio Network CEOs. Hello to you both.
Hi.
Hi, Angela.
First of all, thank you for the nice cup of latte.
You're welcome.
This was not a way to get a free latte, though, because I have always wanted to find out, really, the secret of the success behind your coffee houses, because I've enjoyed GoodEarth for many, many years. And Nan and Michael, if you have listened to any of our CEO series, you know this is more than just finding out about your company. I want to find out about yourselves. And this is kind of two for the price of one with Michael and Nan both here. But let's start with Nan. Nan, where did you grow up?
Oh, I grew up all over the U.S. My dad was in the U.S. Air Force, and so we moved around a lot. But I think my two main home bases, one was Oklahoma. I don't know if you can still hear my accent or not. And the other was Whidbey Island, which is very close to Seattle.
All right. How about you, Michael?
Well, I'm a Southern Alberta native lad. I grew up, my family had several ranches in the Black Diamond and Longview regions of Southern Alberta.
Nan, in those early years, was there anyone who really influenced you for one reason or another?
Yeah, there were a couple of people that were really influential in my life that, and they were both teachers. One was my grade 4 teacher, Mrs. Reeder, and the other was an English teacher in junior high and high school, Mr. Fulcher. And they were both just really wonderful people that nurtured creativity and expression and made me feel good about myself.
That's a shout out for teachers.
Yeah,
for sure.
Oh, absolutely.
Michael, how about you? Anyone when you were young growing up?
You know, I'd have to say probably my father, Jerry, who was a very well-known rancher, horseman, but also an auctioneer. And he traveled throughout Alberta, throughout Western Canada, doing his auction business. And I was always impressed at the degree of respect that people showed him. And, you know, standing up in front of a crowd and calling out the sales and whatnot. And, you know, as family members, we'd be out helping calling bids and that sort of thing. It was very much a family endeavor, and I would have to say that was the level of respect that Dad received that has made an impression on me.
Where's the idea, Michael, that you want to open up a coffee house?
Well, I spent 4 years in Vancouver in the late 80s and had traveled up and down the West Coast, and first time I tasted a great cup of coffee, which is actually at Nan's sister's coffee shop in Seattle, I was hooked. So I really knew and liked good coffee. And when we came back to Calgary, I came back and Nan moved here, we saw that there was no coffee culture at that time in Calgary. We felt that there would be. And both of us had enough of corporate life, I guess, and wanted to set the suits aside, and I literally did that. I remember the day that I actually gave my suits away to Goodwill, and it was really a freeing thing to do. And then we opened up our first cafe, and then the next, and just sort of carried on.
Nan, though, tell me the leap, though, from your sister and working with her on the coffee shop in Seattle and saying, wait, we can do this in Calgary. That wasn't an easy process, was it?
Oh, it seemed pretty easy at the time, frankly. She was in business for herself, and her business predated the proliferation of Starbucks in the Seattle area. She was a real early adopter of an idea, and her espresso bars were very successful. She made it look easy. Yeah. Of course, she was a whirling dervish of energy. And she said, yeah, you could do this. You could keep working in shopping center marketing and open a little cafe. And I put a year of that under my belt. And I think when we moved to Calgary, more than anything, I just really wanted to have a great coffee experience to call my own. And so it was very motivating to just go do it.
So back to the great partnership, because here's Michael with his experience in real estate. You know, you've got the shopping side of things. So was it a matter of just finding that great location, Michael?
Well, you know, I think it was more than that, Angela, and it was really developing the concept of GoodEarth. And really, GoodEarth is just an extension of how Nan and I led our lives at the time and still do today. And that's we enjoy really good quality coffee. We enjoy simple, wholesome comfort foods in a pleasing, pleasant environment where people come together. So that's really how we crafted the GoodEarth experience. And then after that, the real estate just sort of happened. You know, there's always good real estate around, and we found a site that we liked, the first one on 11th Street in the Lower Connaught area, still there today. And it's been a success for 22 years now.
Some things we liked about that location when we got ready to commit to it is that it was in a neighborhood of really high density for Calgary in 1991. And there was the ability for plenty of people to just walk there from where they lived or worked. And that really appealed to us because it seemed that it would really cement the relationship between people and their coffee house to be able to just stroll down the street and come in the doors.
But what did you want to really develop with GoodEarth coffee houses?
You know, people over the years have always asked me, well, what is a coffee house? And my definition, or the one that works for me, is that it's a community gathering place. It's really a place where people come together. And we all lead busy lives these days, and we're very well connected, if not overly connected, to information and whatnot. But sometimes we just miss connecting with each other and communicating with each other. And I guess that's what we really wanted to do, is just to have people, give people a place to come together.